All right, so somebody asked me about the standard UV5R Baofeng radios on a Facebook forum post, and I wanted to explain the differences between the UV5R Plus and the UV5R. They're exactly the same radio, they have the same guts. The only difference is one of them has a metal faceplate. Um, there's no other difference at all. As a matter of fact, maybe some bolts at the top. I've had this thing for 4 years now, so it's kind of worn out. This is a standard UV5R. You can get these for $23 free shipping on eBay. This is the radio that gets a lot of people into ham radio. It's very cheap, it's easy to use, easy to program, and like most radios, they can be programmed with a computer using the Kenwood FTDI connector. I really like these radios. They're not too intimidating to learn. Standard 5 watts out. They do not have any filtering on receive, so it's kind of scratchy. It's not exactly very selective. Um, you know, they're kind of cool, but you can do a lot better for like 50, 70 bucks. These use SMAF antennas, so you can put a chonky antenna on there, These have a light, like some Baofeng radios do, a little flashlight built in, which is really cool, a little flashlight just in case you need it. These also have the ability to tune to FM radio. These can transmit an emergency tone if you hold the call button. So just so you know that you can do that. These are programmable up to 200 channels. When you click the orange VFO memory mode, if you see numbers over here in the corner, you're in memory mode. If you don't see anything over here, you're in VFO mode. So these are pretty easy to program. Digital squelch. The squelch on these sucks ass, so it's not very good actually. But what do you get? For 25 bucks, it's a fully programmable radio with like 30 menus. Like, it's pretty dope what you can do with these. It even has a backlit keyboard, so you can type at night. Narrow wideband support, has CT/CSS, scrambling, digital encoding. So you can do private analog. These are analog FM only. They don't do digital modes like P25 APCO or DMR. Baofeng does make a RT5R or RD5R radio that looks like this that does DMR, but it's kind of shitty. It's got good selectivity. That's about 30 miles away, and it's picking it up crystal clear. I'm inside the house, so it's not bad. It's got customizable lights. You can customize the color of the lights. It's like got 3 different colors. It really matters if you put a good antenna on these cheap radios. The better antenna you can do, then you're going to have a good time. The little stock rubber ducky antenna that comes with it is not very good. Personally, I recommend getting a signal stick, a nitinol wire antenna. Those are extremely effective, very good. But this is the standard UV5R little tiny radio with a clip. The right size. It's not too big, it's not too small. Lasts a good amount of time on the radio battery. If you're receiving only, it'll last 2 or 3 days. If you're transmitting a lot on it, it'll last a day. So it's got a decent little knob, no channel knob. Your up and down is your channel knob. So that's pretty cool for 25 bucks. I mean, I'm not going to hate on the UV5R. It is the de facto gold standard of what people do when they get into, like, if you don't know much about radios and you want to get into the hobby of amateur radios, most people will pick up one of these and go from there. Learn the principles, learn how to program it, learn how to use it, and then buy a more capable radio with other types of features. So, like, if you upgrade these, you can put a BL5 battery on it, which is an extended battery. Gives it a 2800 milliamps of battery, which is pretty cool. It'll last a whole weekend, so it's pretty good for use. I've had this one for a really long time. It still works just fine. I recommend getting the original black ones because they don't wear out. Like the fit and finish doesn't come off of it. Your blue button, your A and B, is channel select up and down because these are dual channel radios. You can listen to one channel and you can transmit on another. Like if you have somebody like a coworker on channel A and then bass on channel B. So like these are always dual channel radios. They are capable of doing voice scrambling and CTSS and digital coded squelch encryption. It's level 1 and level 2 encryption. It's good, but it's not perfect. It's it's got some decent features which allow you to scramble. So somebody can't pick this up unless you know the CTSS and the DCS code. So, as I've said many times, these are SMAF antennas. This is a nitinol memory wire antenna. It's a full wave, meaning really long, full length for VHF. It's about, I think, 11 inches or something. So, it's a pretty sick little radio. I like these. This right here is probably like $30, 30 to $35 full investment in this, and it comes with a drop-in charger. Some of them come with the programming cable, like the cable that programs it is like $5. These are great if you're just needing a good analog radio to talk for like a couple blocks. If you're out in the open with these, out in the woods or out in like Nevada or something, you can expect 20 to 30 mile range with these. So they're not crappy by any means, but they don't work very well in the city. That's what digital modes are for. So, I mean, it's a cool radio, but I personally have outgrown the features of these. I like other radios now, like 866P25. So, these are dope. I really like them. This was technically my first radio. So, if you guys are into the hobby, want to learn how to program, for me specifically, because I'm a computer nerd and I like radios, both of those worlds intersect because you're programming these radios with CPS with a computer, and it's like nerdy, hard to understand computer programming software, and then it combines with the frequencies you put in and using repeaters and using the radio and stuff in the menus. So it's like the best of both worlds, and that's kind of why I'm into the hobby. So UV5R Baofeng, $5 chuck. You won't cry if you break it or it gets lost or stolen or something. A lot of people buy a couple packs of these and keep them up at a hunting lease or up in the timeshare or whatever, like, or vacation. These are pretty cool. They're not just for amateur repeater hobby use. They're also for regular use. You can use these on not GMRS, but I can't remember the other standard that these can be on. You can program these for 462, 525, but you're really not supposed to. Nobody's going to yell at you. Nobody's going to find out and trip out. But like most GMRS radios broadcast at half a watt to 1 watt. These broadcast at 5 watts. So it's technically outside the spec for GMRS, and it's not illegal, but it's not liked. It's frowned upon by the FCC. So nobody's going to know if you're using it, but if you get on the air and you tell somebody that you're using a Baofeng on GMRS, they might get a little pissed. So, I mean, these aren't bubble pack radios with non-removable antennas that follow the international spec for GMRS. So just be aware of that. MERS on VHF is a good option. Multi-use radio service. Those 4 or 5 channels are color-coded and really good for general use. And then, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel anymore about the Baofeng UV5R because it's spawned a lot of lids that like to mess with repeaters and be bad, and just people that talk crap on these radios in general just because they have like a $600 Yaesu FT5D or something, you know, like people start out with this kind of gear right here. This is what you learn on and build your foundation with. Get your tech license and learn how to use these and join a club, you know. It might actually save your ass one day, a $25 Baofeng. I'm not kidding. So I might do more videos on programming these, but yeah. So remember, please remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll do more videos soon. All right.